have you ever gone to the Tools menu and seen this Categories menu item and wondered what it did? I'm going to go ahead and choose this. When I do, it opens up the Categories dialog box where I can click on items and then set the properties for them. So what you're seeing here is a list of categories that I've set up in the system. So think about the very basic types of work that you do, regardless of the project or who does the actual work. What is actually being done, and then you can go to the Tools menu and create new categories that represent that kind of work, or just rename the ones you see here. The first thing that you see is that they can be assigned to users, so each user would have maybe a different set of categories. You also see the ability to use these for billing rates and for salary rates. Normally billing is done on a user basis or an employee basis, but you can use categories for that. In fact, QuickBooks uses these rates very similar to the way Standard Time does. But essentially what you have here is a list of the basic kinds of work that you do. So I'm going to show you how Standard Time uses them in the program. I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And the first place you'll probably encounter them is in the timesheet. You see the 6 tabs along the top here. I've got the timesheet chosen. And when you open up a project, you will sometimes see a list of the categories that we saw earlier in that dialog box. Simply entering hours against that would be creating a new time log for that category. Now if we open up another project, you might see project tasks instead. In this case, you see sort of a breakdown of project tasks, and these project tasks are also assigned to categories, and so when you enter hours against these project tasks, you are also automatically entering time for categories. So you're basically telling the system what type of work that you're doing. So anytime we open up one of these and see the Edit Time Log Entry dialog box, you see that there is a category field, and as we go through these you can see the category is changing, and so that basically is the kind of work that is being done for that segment of time. Another way to look at that would be to go to the time log. Here are the time logs that you saw over in the timesheet, and you see that each one has a category. So that's essentially saying this is the type of work that was done for this segment of time. So there's other places that categories are used. For instance, if I went over to the reports area, there is a report that you can group your time logs by category so that you can run a report by, let's say, a date range, and then see where they break out, see where you're spending your time on each category. We talked about earlier the billing rates. If you go to the Tools menu, you can choose category billing rates. And here again you can set the billing rates for each project. We see a particular project chosen here, and I'm overriding the default rate for some of these categories for this project only. So that is one thing you can do if you're using the internal billing in Standard Time. If you happen to be using QuickBooks and you're exporting your time to QuickBooks, they also use this category. They call it a service item. So when you export your time to QuickBooks, it would use our category, and the billing rate would be set in QuickBooks, and that is how their invoicing works. So those are just some of the things that you can do with the categories, but basically it's just the type of work that you're doing on projects.